So, what if building wealth wasn't about getting lucky or being a genius or some get-rich-quick scheme? What if it was actually a formula? Well, that's the big idea behind Scott Galloway's book, The Algebra of Wealth, and it's a super clear, actionable way to think about achieving real financial security.
Galloway kicks things off with a pretty blunt truth about the world we're all living in. He says, capitalism is the most productive economic system in history and a rapacious beast. And what he means is, this system is incredibly powerful, but let's be honest, it doesn't always feel fair, often favoring capital way more than labor.
So, that brings us to the central question, right? How do you actually build security for yourself in a system that can feel like it's stacked against you? The good news is, there is an answer.
And that answer is slowly. Yeah, I know. Not what you might want to hear. This isn't about becoming a superstar overnight. It's about a consistent, disciplined approach that's built on 4 key pillars: Stoicism, focus, time, and diversification. So let's break down exactly how this works.
Okay, first things first, we have to talk about this huge psychological hurdle we all face. We're wired to think that more money will fix all our problems and make us way happier. But the data, and probably your own experience, tells a very different story.
This is a concept called the hedonic treadmill. Think about it. As our income goes up, what happens? Our spending goes up right along with it. The things that were luxuries yesterday suddenly become necessities today. You get that new car or bigger apartment, and yeah, you get a temporary happiness boost. But pretty soon, you're right back to where you started emotionally, just with higher bills. You're running faster and faster, but you're not actually going anywhere. So, if just getting more stuff isn't the answer, what is? Well, Galloway argues that the real foundation for wealth isn't even financial, it's personal. It all starts with building your character first. And he frames this whole idea through Stoicism. Now, the core concept is actually really simple, but it's powerful. You focus your energy only on what you can actually control. You can't control the stock market, you can't control what your boss is thinking, but what you can control is your own mind, your own responses, and your own habits. And the tool to build that control is something called the habit loop. It's simple. There's a cue, which is the trigger. That leads to a routine, which is the behavior itself, and that delivers a reward. By consciously designing these loops, like say making Thursday night your cue to write, which leads to the reward of seeing people react to your work, you start to build the discipline that forges a strong character.
And this right here really illustrates the endgame. Galloway tells his own story about starting his weekly blog. In the beginning, it was a total chore, but week after week, that routine became a habit, and eventually, that habit completely changed how he saw himself. He wasn't just some guy who wrote a blog anymore, he was a writer. Your identity literally grows out of the habits you build.
Okay, so once you have that solid foundation of character, where do you point it? The next part of the formula is all about your career, and it's got some of the most counterintuitive advice you'll probably ever hear. Forget about following your passion. I mean, our whole culture screams at us to follow your passion. But here's the thing about passion-driven fields, like art or music or fashion. They are flooded with people who are eager to work. The supply of labor is massive, which means the pay is often terrible, and the few powerful people at the top hold all the cards. A much better path? Follow your talent. Find something that comes kinda easy to you, but is difficult for other people. Galloway puts it so bluntly you can't forget it. Follow your passion is Latin for prepare to be exploited. And just think about that for a second. When a company knows you're doing something for the love of the game, they have almost zero incentive to pay you what you're actually worth. Why? Because they know there are 100 other passionate people lined up right behind you ready to take your spot. So, the most crucial point here is that we have this whole idea completely backward. Passion isn't the cause of a great career, it's the effect. When you focus on your talent and you put in the reps to achieve mastery, you get so good at what you do that it becomes deeply, deeply enjoyable and rewarding. That's where real, lasting passion comes from.
Hey, just a quick pause. If you're finding this framework on building wealth helpful, could you do me a quick favor? Just take a second to like this video, and maybe share it with a friend who'd get something out of it. And for more deep dives just like this one, make sure you subscribe to our channel, Wealth Notes. It honestly helps us out a ton.
All right, let's get back to it. So once you're earning a good income by focusing on your talent, how do you actually turn that income into real wealth? This brings us back to that really important word from the beginning, slowly.
Look at this number, $2.5 million. It seems impossible, doesn't it?
It sounds like the kind of thing only a genius investor or some lucky crypto bro could ever achieve. But it's not.
That number comes from investing just $12,000 a year for only 10 years, say from age 25 to 35, and then not touching it again until you're 65. The engine that makes this possible is compounding. I mean, look at this chart of the S&P 500. Even with all the ups and downs, patient investment just grows and grows. Time, not timing the market, is your single greatest asset.
And now for the final piece of the algebra. Economic security, it turns out, is not a solo sport. True wealth isn't just about piling up money. It's about connecting with and contributing to a community.
I love this matrix. It's so simple. It splits people into 4 types based on how their actions affect themselves and other people. You've got bandits, who get rich by hurting society. You've got the helpless, who help others but at their own expense. And then you have the stupid, who just hurt everyone, including themselves. The goal, the place you want to be, is in that top right corner. Intelligent. You create value for yourself by creating value for others. This is where wealth really finds its meaning.
And this is the ultimate payoff. Galloway shares this really personal story about caring for his dying mother. He said that for the first time in his life, all the success he had chased finally had a real meaning. His economic security meant he could be there. He could coordinate her care. He could provide comfort. He could show up when it mattered most. And that is the real purpose of wealth. So in the end, that's what this is all about. Building wealth gives you options. It provides you with the resources. It's the ink for your pen. But it doesn't write the story for you. That part, that's entirely up to you. So the final question I want to leave you with is, what story are you going to write?
Thank you for watching.